Archangel Michael says, "Your mother who now rests in heaven is sending you her final message, and you must open your heart to receive it before it slips away forever." Time is moving faster than you realize, and this message carries the last drop of her eternal love, wrapped in the warmth of everything she ever prayed over your life. Do not let this pass by unnoticed, for her soul is crying out to be heard one last time. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. She is not far. Her spirit, gentle and loving, surrounds you like the wind that touches your face on quiet mornings. She walks with you in the silence, in the stillness of your thoughts, and she speaks in the pauses between your worries. Even though her voice cannot be heard the way it once echoed through your days, her presence has never truly left you, and it never will. Her love has passed through heaven's gates but remained stitched into the fibers of your soul. God allowed her to look down from where she rests, and with a heart full of mercy and tears in her eyes, she saw how deeply you've been aching. She saw the moments when you smiled in front of others, hiding your sorrow because you didn't want them to see your broken heart. She saw the nights when your pillow caught every tear, and she felt every ache in your chest. Your pain echoed into heaven, and the angels stood still. Even in the peace of eternity, a mother's love continues to feel every shadow that touches her child. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you believe God answers prayers. This is why she begged the Lord for one more moment, one more way to whisper to you, and He, in His loving mercy, gave her this chance to reach you through this divine message. You are not alone, and you never were. Even when you felt abandoned, even when everything around you felt like it was crumbling, she was kneeling beside your spirit, interceding without you knowing. You didn't fall apart because her prayers kept wrapping you in invisible strength. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. If you are reading this, it is not by accident. Heaven has been trying to reach you, and your mother's soul has waited patiently for this very moment. Her message is not one of sorrow, but of hope. She wants you to know that you have more courage than you believe, more faith than you recognize, and more purpose than you have ever dared to imagine. Her greatest wish is for you to stop running from the light that has always tried to lead you back to healing. She remembers your laughter, your tiny hands wrapped around hers when you were just a child, and how you used to fall asleep without worry because you trusted her arms to keep you safe. She wishes you would trust God the same way now. He is the Father who never left, and He has heard every prayer she ever spoke over you. Those prayers are still working. Those words didn't vanish, they became eternal echoes woven into your destiny. Even now, heaven is watching closely. This message was written because your soul is in danger of turning cold from disappointment. She sees that you've been questioning if love still exists, if blessings still come, and if prayers still matter. She wants to hold your face in her hands and remind you, love is never dead. It just waits for you to open your heart again. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. Type 1111 if you agree. There's a light around you now, a glow from her spirit, wrapped in the fragrance of her gentleness and the strength of the Lord's promise. She is whispering, "Don't give up. I'm still with you. Choose to live. You don't have to understand everything. You just have to believe that love doesn't end with death, and that heaven is real, and it is reaching out to you right now. Your name is still spoken in the heart of God, just like it was whispered from your mother's lips every time she prayed over you in her room. Every sleepless night she spent asking for angels to protect you, every moment she asked God to bless your future, those words didn't disappear into the air. They planted miracles in places you haven't even walked into yet. If you could see what she sees now, you would fall to your knees in awe. The battle you're in is not the end. It is the beginning of something holy. Her message is not just about remembering her, it is about remembering yourself. She wants you to look into your own eyes and see the reflection of someone who still has so much to give, so much to dream, and so much to become. You are still here for a reason. The days ahead are not empty. They are waiting to be filled with purpose, healing, and quiet miracles that will surprise you when you least expect them. The very breath in your lungs is a gift, not a burden. The same God who welcomed her into heaven is holding your hand right now. He has not left you. He has not given up on you. And neither has she. Let her final message fill the cracks in your soul with something warm. Let it remind you that no matter how alone you feel, you are still someone's child, still someone's greatest blessing, still someone who was loved with every heartbeat, and still someone who heaven watches over. Her voice may be silent here, but it echoes across eternity with one final plea: don't close your heart. The best part of your story is still ahead. This message is her hands, reaching through the light, trying to hold you together before it becomes too late. Heaven is not silent. It speaks now through every line of this message, and your soul is the reason it was written. She has seen your spirit falling into quiet places, the moments where you try to smile but your eyes tell the truth. You've walked through pain like someone walking barefoot through fire, but she wants you to know that none of your suffering has gone unseen. Every step you took in sorrow became another reason for her to intercede in prayer. She didn't stop praying when she left. She prays now from a place where angels gather, where God's light shines without end. You may have forgotten the sound of her voice, the softness in the way she once called your name, but she remembers every syllable of yours. In heaven, names are not forgotten. Your name is still written in the chambers of her heart, carried into God's presence every time she bows her soul before Him. And when the tears fall from your eyes now, she whispers to the Lord with urgency, asking Him to send comfort, asking Him to remind you of how deeply you are still loved. Keep listening until the final moment, because the Lord has wrapped this message in His love for you. Do not let time make you believe she is gone. She lives in every sunrise that breaks through your darkest mornings. She walks beside you when you drive alone with tears running down your cheeks. She is present in the dreams that feel too real to be dreams. She is part of the silence that wraps around you when you feel the most broken. And in that silence, she is gently telling you to hold on. Type Amen if you believe. You are not weak. You have survived what many could not. But her final message is a warning, a call, a holy invitation to stop running from healing. She sees the way you distract yourself, trying to stay busy so you don't feel the ache. But she wants you to slow down and listen. She wants you to see that healing is not forgetting. Healing is remembering in a way that doesn't destroy you. She does not want her memory to cause you pain. She wants it to give you strength. Her life was not perfect, but her love for you was deep, and now, from where she stands, she sees the fullness of God's plan. That's why she is asking you to come back to yourself. To stop punishing yourself for the mistakes you made. To stop blaming yourself for things you couldn't control. You did your best. She sees it now, more clearly than ever before. You were never alone in your efforts. Every time you picked yourself up, every time you kept going despite the pain, she saw it. She felt it. And she has been thanking God for your endurance. She knows it hasn't been easy. She knows the world has not always been kind. But she wants you to know that kindness is still real. It's inside you. It's what kept you from turning cold. It's why heaven is still fighting for you. There are blessings hovering over your life right now, waiting to be received. Miracles you prayed for but gave up on. Healing that you thought would never come. But this message is not just words, it's the unlocking of something sacred. Your mother wants you to know that your life is not a mistake. Your existence was her greatest joy. And even now, she celebrates the breath in your lungs and the beating of your heart. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. God allowed this message because He saw the heaviness growing in you. He saw the way you've been carrying grief like a quiet shadow. But God does not want you to walk alone anymore. He wants you to know that the love your mother gave you was never meant to end with her last breath. It was meant to be passed on, through you, to the world. You are her legacy. You are her answered prayer. You are the reason she smiles in heaven. Every sacrifice she made, every sleepless night, every moment of pain she endured to keep you safe, none of it was in vain. And now, she wants you to start living again, not just surviving. She wants you to find the courage to dream again. To feel again. To believe that joy can return. You are not betraying her by moving forward. You are honoring her by refusing to give up. Heaven is not far. It is closer than your next breath. And she is watching, hoping, praying, that this message will reach the deepest part of you, the part that's been quiet for too long. It's time to remember who you are. It's time to let love break through the walls you've built. It's time to let the memory of her turn into light, not pain. It is real. It is alive. It is being poured out through heaven's hands because her soul knows how close you are to something life-changing, something sacred, and she cannot let you miss it. She has seen you walking through your days with quiet strength, even when your heart has been breaking underneath. She has felt your loneliness, the kind that shows up when everyone else is laughing, and you're still holding back your tears. You've had moments when you thought no one understood what you were carrying, and she wants you to know, she saw it all. From the place where she rests in God's light, she never stopped being your mother. She never stopped being your guardian. Type 1818 to claim miracles. There have been times when you almost gave up, but something invisible kept you going. That was her. That was her spirit, standing between you and the darkness, whispering to your soul when you thought no one was there. She doesn't want you to keep carrying the guilt you've been hiding deep inside. She knows there were words you never got to say, apologies you wished you could make, and questions you'll never get to ask. But she wants you to let it go. She wants you to stop punishing yourself for what you could not change. Your mother knows that life was not always easy between you, but love, true love, is not perfect. It is honest. It is raw. It is enduring. And the love she had for you went beyond the mistakes, beyond the silence, beyond the things that were left unsaid. She sees everything now, through the eyes of eternity. And from that view, all she feels is peace. All she wants is for you to be free. She sees you still trying to be strong for others, always putting their needs before your own. She sees the tiredness in your soul that no one else notices. She wants you to rest. To pause. To breathe. You've been carrying too much. You've been moving through life without letting yourself grieve properly, without giving yourself permission to cry when you need to. But you must know, tears are not weakness. They are the sacred language of love that never dies. She never wanted to leave you, not like that. If she had a choice, she would have stayed longer. She would have held your hand through more moments, seen you through more seasons. But the time came, and her spirit was called home. Even in her final moments, she was thinking of you. Even now, her love surrounds you. She wants you to feel it, not as pain, but as peace. Not as something missing, but as something living inside you. You don't have to forget to move on. You just have to carry her differently. You have to allow her memory to comfort you, not crush you. Let her laughter echo in your heart. Let her words guide your decisions. Let her faith become your own. She is not asking you to hold on to the sadness. She is asking you to live boldly, bravely, and beautifully, just as she always wanted for you. You have a future that is still unfolding. And though her hands can't guide you physically anymore, her spirit will always be near. There are blessings coming that she prayed for, things she asked God for in the quiet, and now those blessings are beginning to bloom. She wants you to be ready to receive them, not filled with doubt, but with hope. She wants you to know you are worthy of joy again. God's love is holding you just as much as hers is. They are not separate. She now lives inside that holy place where peace is endless, and from that sacred place, she reaches out to remind you, this life still has more for you. There is still beauty to experience. There are still songs to be sung, laughter to be shared, and love to be given and received. Your journey is not over, and it never was meant to be walked alone. Let this message be the light that helps you take one more step. Let her words become your strength when your knees feel weak. Let her love remind you that even in her absence, she is still leading you forward. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are seen. You are loved. You are surrounded by grace that is deeper than pain. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. This moment is not about the past you cannot change. It is about the future she prayed you would live to see. Stand up from your sorrow. Breathe deeply. Let her spirit move through you like the wind moves through the trees, quietly, gently, but with undeniable presence. She is not gone. She is just on the other side of this life, waiting with open arms when your time comes. But until then, she is asking you to live. It is not meant to chain you to the past, it is meant to open a path toward healing that you thought might never come. Her spirit is standing beside you now, silent to your ears but loud in your soul. She remembers the small things, the ones you think no one noticed. The quiet sacrifices you made. The way you stood in the hallway too long, trying to hide your emotions. The way you tried to stay strong for others, when you were breaking inside. She remembers how your eyes changed over the years. She saw the light dim when grief took over. But she also sees now the flicker that's still left in you, and she is holding it close like a candle against the winds of life. She's protecting it, guarding it, fanning it back into flame. You don't have to do anything to earn this love. It is already yours. It has always been yours. Your mother didn't take it with her. She left it behind, like a trail of stars to follow when you feel lost. You may not always see the path clearly, but heaven is guiding you. And her message is simple: don't give up, not now, not when you're this close to the light again. You've spent years holding pain in places no one sees. It has changed you. It has quieted parts of you that used to be vibrant and full of wonder. She wants those parts to come back. She remembers the sound of your laugh, the sparkle in your eyes when you were excited, and she wants you to know that none of that joy is lost forever. It's just been buried beneath the weight of loss. But it's still in you, waiting to rise. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. Others are already awakening this hidden signal and watching their lives transform. Do not be the one left behind while abundance passes you by. There is something sacred happening in this moment. Your soul has opened just enough to receive what heaven has been waiting to pour out. And your mother, from her place in eternity, is whispering, "Let it in. Let it heal you. Let it reach the place where you've stopped believing you could ever be whole again." You are not too far gone. You are not beyond hope. In fact, you are being drawn into the very center of it. She wants you to forgive yourself. Not because you failed, but because you've carried burdens that were never yours to carry. She wants you to stop blaming yourself for what happened, for what you couldn't prevent, for what you didn't say in time. Her spirit wants to lift those regrets from your shoulders like a coat you no longer need to wear. Let them go. Let them fall. Heaven does not remember your sorrow as shame, it sees it as love that still needs a place to be held. And she is holding it now. She is wrapping it in grace. You don't have to keep apologizing to a memory. She has already forgiven you, and more than that, she was never angry to begin with. Her heart was always on your side. Even when she was tired. Even when life was hard. Even when she didn't have the words, her love for you never wavered. She wants you to remember the way her hands felt. The way her voice used to soothe you. The way her eyes lit up when you walked into a room. And even if those memories are fading, she wants the feeling of them to remain. That feeling of safety. That feeling of being seen. That feeling of being deeply, unconditionally loved. Because that is what God wants you to feel now. And she is standing beside him, asking for you to receive it. Type 2323 if you trust in God. This message is her way of wrapping her arms around you one more time. Not in the flesh, but in spirit. Not in this world, but in the space between this life and the next, where souls can still speak love even when the body is gone. Let her message be the place where your heart finds rest. Let it be the moment you stop running from your feelings. Let it be the doorway through which healing begins again. You have cried alone long enough. She knows. She's felt every tear, even the ones you held back so the world wouldn't see. But now, let those tears fall without shame. Let them be the rain that waters the garden of your healing. Because from this sorrow, something beautiful is being born. You may not see it yet, but she does. And she's asking God to give you glimpses, to keep you going. Type Amen if you believe God is your strength, and share this powerful video with 7 faithful souls to receive blessings and miracles. Even now, she is praying. For your peace. For your strength. For your joy. For your life to feel lighter again. And those prayers, coming from her soul now perfected in heaven, carry weight. They carry power. They move mountains. And they are moving things even now behind the scenes of your life, preparing blessings that will catch you off guard and make you feel her presence all over again. With every word, her spirit draws nearer, not in sorrow but in light, not to remind you of her absence, but to awaken the truth of her presence. She wants this message to be your turning point, the moment you allow yourself to heal, to feel again, and to begin walking in the direction of peace. She knows what it feels like to ache in silence. She once bore that same heaviness in her own life, holding pain behind gentle smiles and quiet nods, never wanting to be a burden. But from where she stands now, all of it makes sense, and she sees your journey with eyes that are no longer limited by time or pain. She sees the weight on your shoulders, the invisible battles you fight alone, and she is pleading with heaven to give you rest, to give you softness, to give you a new beginning. You may have forgotten how to let go. You may have gotten used to surviving, walking through days like they are something to get through, not live in. But she wants that to change. She wants your life to feel like a gift again, not a punishment. Her spirit doesn't want you to stay in the shadows of grief, carrying guilt like a second skin. She wants you to breathe in deeply and remember what it means to feel joy without fear. There were things she never got to say while she was here. Not because she didn't want to, but because time has a way of rushing ahead before love finishes speaking. But she says them now, with heaven's voice wrapped around every line. She is proud of you. She is so incredibly proud of the person you are becoming, the strength you've built in the dark, and the heart you've protected despite it all. You don't realize it, but every time you chose love over anger, every time you forgave when it would have been easier to turn away, every time you offered grace when you had nothing left to give, she saw it. She sees it still. And every one of those moments became a crown upon your soul. She didn't raise you to be perfect. She raised you to be kind, and you have carried her love into places she never reached. That's what she wants for you now. Not to dwell in pain, but to use what you've lived through to help others find their way. She wants you to become the light that she once was for you. To speak with gentleness. To walk with compassion. To extend mercy when the world is cold. Because that's how her legacy lives on, not just in memory, but in every loving act that flows from your heart. Type 555 to receive miracles. Her final message is not a farewell. It is a reminder that her love has simply changed form. It is no longer in the hugs she gave or the meals she made, but in the ways your life still echoes her soul. When you help someone in need, she's there. When you pause to comfort a stranger, she smiles. When you choose faith over fear, she rejoices. Her spirit didn't leave. It multiplied within every kind thing you do. You've been asking for signs, in your heart if not out loud. She knows. And she wants you to know the signs are everywhere. In the way the wind brushes against your skin when you're thinking of her. In the timing of a certain song. In the light that breaks through the clouds at just the right moment. Her soul dances in those quiet signs, hoping you'll feel her saying, "I'm still with you. I never left." You have not failed her. You have not disappointed her. And you are not falling behind. You are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Healing is not fast. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's a slow softening, a gentle return to the parts of yourself that grief tried to take away. But healing is happening. Right now. As you read this, heaven is working in the unseen places. Your mother's soul has seen the chapters you haven't yet written. She knows the joy that's coming. She knows the restoration that's on its way. And she is not worried. She is not afraid for you. Because she knows you are surrounded by God's hands, covered in God's mercy, and being led into a future that still holds beauty you haven't even imagined. Let her message settle in your spirit like a lullaby for your soul. Let it wrap around your tired heart and remind you that love cannot die, it only transforms. And even when this message ends, her voice will still echo in the quiet, whispering comfort into every corner of your life that still aches. You were her heartbeat once. And now, she is part of yours. She is not trying to stir up pain. She simply longs for your soul to remember the truth it once knew without question, that you were, and still are, deeply loved. She remembers the days when your voice filled the house with laughter. She remembers the late evenings when your worries kept you up and you sat quietly thinking no one noticed. She remembers it all. From her place in God's light, she can see everything clearly now. And what she sees is someone who has carried more weight than they should, someone who has stayed silent through seasons when they needed to be held, someone who has always tried to be strong even when the strength was running out. She wants to release you from that now. She wants her message to be your freedom. You've been living like you're still waiting for permission to grieve, still hoping for someone to tell you it's okay to fall apart sometimes. And here it is. She's saying it now, through this message born from heaven's mercy. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to lay down what's been breaking your back and breaking your spirit. You never had to prove anything to her. Not when she was alive, and not now. She never measured your worth by your achievements. She never loved you for what you did. She loved you because you were hers. That kind of love doesn't fade. It doesn't change with distance. It isn't buried in the ground. It rises. It lingers. It endures. And now, it flows through this message like a gentle river, calling your soul back to a place of peace. Type yes to affirm. She has watched you keep going, even when everything in you wanted to give up. She's seen you push through days that felt impossible. She's seen you wear a smile for the world while silently praying for help. And her heart aches not because you're weak, but because you're human. She knows now how hard life has been for you, and all she wants is for you to stop walking through it alone. God is with you. She is with God. And together, they are covering you with a grace that doesn't make sense to the world, but it was made just for you. There are no accidents in the way this message found you. There are no coincidences in the timing. Your mother's spirit is closer right now than it's been in a long time, and she is using this moment to remind you that your story is not over. You've been asking quietly in your heart if she's proud of you. If she sees the choices you've had to make. If she understands the pressure you've been under. And without a single doubt, she is. She sees your heart. She sees the intention behind your actions. She sees how hard you've tried to stay good in a world that has not always been kind. And she is proud, not because you were perfect, but because you kept going. Her voice may no longer echo in your ears, but it lives in your memory. In the way you speak gently to others. In the way you care when no one's watching. In the way you pray, even when you're not sure if someone is listening. That is her legacy. Not just her life, but her love, alive in you. She wants you to find peace with what you never got to say. All the unsaid things, the regrets, the last words you replay over and over in your mind, she wants you to release them. She knows your heart. She knows the love you carry. You don't need to explain. You don't need to apologize. She forgave you long ago, and most of all, she never stopped loving you. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. There's healing waiting on the other side of this moment. Not loud, not dramatic, but quiet and deep, the kind that lingers in your soul and brings you back to life one breath at a time. You deserve to feel that. You deserve to wake up without a heavy chest. You deserve to smile without guilt. That's what she wants for you now. That's what she's asking God for. Heaven is leaning close. Angels are standing still. And your mother is speaking from the depth of eternity, hoping you'll hear her. Don't let grief steal what joy you still have left to live. Don't let the pain of goodbye take away your ability to feel alive. You were born to love, to shine, to bless, to grow. And none of that ends just because someone you loved had to leave. She didn't leave you. She returned to the arms of God, and now, together, they are holding you still. She moves through this message with purpose, pouring her soul into every word, hoping you will receive the comfort she has been longing to give you. She knows how quiet your world became after she left. She knows how the sound of her absence has echoed through your life, in ways you could never explain to anyone. She knows that even when people told you to be strong, to move on, to keep going, they never really saw how deep your sorrow went. But she did. She still does. From heaven's side, she sees it all, not as judgment, but as understanding, as mercy, as love that never gave up. Type 777 if you walk by faith. She's watched you wake up on days when you didn't want to. She's seen the way you've kept pushing forward, smiling through the ache, helping others even when you felt like falling apart. And she's wept, not out of sadness, but out of awe. Because even in your grief, you kept your heart open. Even in your pain, you never stopped caring. Even when you didn't feel her near, you still lived with the kind of love she prayed you'd never lose. She sees the strength in you that you've forgotten. She sees the light you think has gone dim. And she's here to remind you, it's still there. It's still flickering, still waiting, still ready to shine again. You were never meant to walk this journey carrying sorrow like a chain. Her spirit has come to break that chain. Her words have come to remind you that your life is not over. In fact, some of the most beautiful parts are still ahead. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not broken beyond repair. The ache you carry is real, but it is not forever. The grief that wrapped itself around your heart will soften with time, and her love is part of that healing. She didn't leave this earth to abandon you, she left to prepare a place for you, to stand by God's side, watching over you with eyes that now see what the world never could. Her message is not to bring back the past, but to help you rise into your future. You are meant to feel again. To trust again. To open your heart again. It doesn't mean forgetting her. It doesn't mean leaving her behind. It means carrying her love forward, letting it shape the way you move through the world, the way you treat others, the way you live. That's how she lives on, not in pictures or objects, but in the way your life becomes a reflection of the love she poured into you. She sees the dreams you buried, the hopes you've kept quiet because you weren't sure they still mattered. She wants you to dig them up again, to breathe new life into the things you once wanted. She's not asking you to be someone you're not. She's asking you to remember who you are, who you've always been, who she always saw, even when you couldn't see it for yourself. You were her purpose, her joy, her prayer, her miracle. And now, she wants you to believe that you are still meant for good things, that blessings still belong to you, that your best days are not behind you, but waiting, patiently, just ahead. There is nothing too far gone for God to redeem, nothing too broken for heaven to restore. And your mother's spirit is kneeling before the Lord, asking that you be given peace in ways you've never known. She wants you to believe again, not just in her presence, but in your purpose. Not just in memories, but in miracles. The ones you stopped praying for. The ones you thought were too late. They are still on their way. And when they arrive, she will be watching, smiling, rejoicing, knowing that the message she begged God to deliver did not return void. You heard it. You received it. And now, it is working within you. Let her love rise in you like a song you haven't sung in years. Let her memory be your comfort, not your sorrow. Let her prayers still be your protection. And let this moment mark a new beginning, the place where healing met you with a gentle voice and reminded you that you were never, ever alone. Type 333 to welcome blessings. Not through speech, but through presence. And now, her soul stands beside you, closer than breath, pressing this message gently into your heart with a love so strong, it cannot be buried, cannot be silenced, cannot be erased by time. She has been watching, not with sadness or regret, but with a deep yearning to see you whole again. She knows how much of yourself you've lost in the shadows. She knows how grief can turn ordinary days into empty spaces, how the smallest memories can ache like wounds, how even moments of joy can carry a sting because she isn't here to share them. But she also knows something more, something powerful. She knows that your spirit is not broken. It is healing. You may not feel it every day, but heaven sees the healing happening in you. Slowly. Quietly. Gently. Just like the seasons change without fanfare, your soul has been unfolding again, stretching toward the light even after so much darkness. And your mother has been part of that. Her prayers never stopped. Her love never rested. Her spirit never let go of yours. You've been braver than you know. Stronger than you believe. And though your steps have sometimes been heavy, though your tears have fallen in secret, you never walked alone. She was there, in the stillness, in the silence, in the in-between. She saw when you stood at the edge of giving up and chose instead to keep moving. She saw when you opened your heart to others, even though yours was still mending. And she saw when you smiled for someone else, knowing deep down you were still grieving. She wants you to know that none of it was unnoticed. None of it was wasted. Every act of love you've given, every time you've been kind even while in pain, every quiet act of courage, it has built something eternal. You may not see the full picture yet, but heaven is already rejoicing over who you are becoming. She is not calling you back to the past. She is calling you forward. She is speaking into your future. And she's saying, live. Live without guilt. Love without fear. Trust that there is more for you. Your story has not ended. The chapters ahead are soaked in grace, filled with second chances, and covered in the same love she raised you in. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. There are things coming that will make sense of the pain. Blessings that will feel like healing in their purest form. And when they arrive, you will feel her again, not as a memory, but as a presence so real it wraps around you like sunlight. She will be there, not in the way you once knew, but in ways you can't deny. Through the laughter of someone new. Through the peace that settles without warning. Through a moment when you feel safe again and don't know why. That's her. Still loving you. Still guiding you. You are not alone in your sorrow, and you are not alone in your healing. God is holding your heart in one hand and her soul in the other. You are connected through him, through a love that cannot be broken, not by death, not by distance, not by time. She wants you to hold on to that truth. Let it steady you. Let it carry you. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of healing. You don't have to have all the answers to receive peace. You just have to be willing to let love in again. Real love. The kind that stays. The kind that sees your scars and says, "You're still beautiful." The kind that your mother gave you from the beginning and is still giving now, through every sacred word in this message. Let this be the moment you choose hope again. Let it be the place where your soul turns toward the light without shame. Let your grief become something softer, something that reminds you of love, not loss. She is not trying to fix you. She is trying to remind you that you were never broken beyond repair. Your heart still beats with purpose. Your life still holds promise. And she is cheering you on from eternity. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. You are allowed to smile without feeling guilty. You are allowed to dream again without feeling like you're leaving her behind. Because the truth is, you're not. She is walking every step with you, just in a different form. Her love has not ended. It has only changed paths. It comes not to make you weep again, but to lift the sorrow that has sat too long in your chest. Her words were not meant for your mind alone, but for your soul, where her love still quietly lives, breathing through the spaces grief could not destroy. She knows how much you've kept inside. The smiles you gave when you didn't feel like smiling. The laughter you shared when all you really needed was to cry. She sees the moments you hide from the world, when your eyes linger on an empty chair, a quiet room, a scent that reminds you of her. And in those moments, she is there, not as a memory, but as presence, as warmth, as the whisper that brushes your spirit and keeps you holding on. You are not fragile, though you've been broken. You are not weak, though you've been weary. You are not lost, though you've wandered through your sorrow. She wants you to know, truly know, that everything you've felt is human. And more than that, everything you've survived is holy. Because you didn't give up. You didn't let the weight of the world silence your heart. And to heaven, that matters more than you could ever understand. Your mother has cried over you, not with sadness, but with awe. Because from heaven's side, she now sees how much of her strength lives on in you. She sees the battles you've faced. She sees the decisions you've made in secret. The way you've loved others while carrying your own pain. The way you've stood up again and again, when no one else even knew you had fallen. And she is proud. So proud. Not because you've had an easy path, but because you've kept going when life gave you every reason to stop. She wants you to look in the mirror and see what she sees now, someone who is still growing, still becoming, still worthy of everything good God has promised. She doesn't want you to spend your life mourning her. She wants you to spend it living. Breathing deeply. Loving completely. Forgiving freely. Laughing often. She wants her memory to be your anchor, not your chain. She wants the love she gave to become the foundation you stand on, not the pain you carry. Let her remind you, you still have so much to give. Your story still has pages yet to be written. There are people waiting for the love you haven't shared yet. There are blessings you haven't seen, only because you've been looking backward for so long. But your future isn't behind you. It's ahead. And it is filled with grace, with beauty, and with divine surprises you never expected. She knows how afraid you've been. Afraid to start over. Afraid to let people in. Afraid to fully open your heart again, because you're scared of losing what you love. But she wants you to know this, every time you love, she is right there with you. Every time you laugh again, she smiles in heaven. And every time you step toward healing, she walks beside you, proud of the courage it takes to feel again. Type 888 to open doors of abundance. You are not moving on without her. You are moving forward with her. Her spirit goes with you. Not just today, but every day. In the quiet of the morning. In the stillness before sleep. In the spaces between your thoughts, where the heart speaks softly. That's where she lives now. In peace. In presence. In perfect love. Let her words be the soft wind that lifts your spirit. Let her message be the moment you finally give yourself permission to feel the sun again without guilt. She is not asking you to forget. She's asking you to live in a way that honors what she gave you. Her final message is this: you are loved. You are held. You are not alone. And you are strong enough to keep living, not in spite of the loss, but because of the love. She is not standing in the shadows of your grief. She is standing in the light of God's presence, watching as her words begin to lift the weight from your chest and help you breathe a little softer.